Oh, hello. Sorry about that.
Hey, you're good.
Welcome.
How are you doing?
Um, I'm okay. I'm back in Kiev. I just came back to Ukraine to do more journalism, actually journalism, since I've been published. Yes, yes,
Oh, congratulations.
yes, in a Polish magazine. How do you call a
Nice.
magazine that comes out once per 3 months? 3 monthly?
Hmm.
Is that correct? 3 months, tri-monthly?
It'd be tri-monthly. It'd be tri-monthly, I think.
Tri-monthly, yeah. It's
Yeah.
about children, kidnapped children. That's basically the main focus of my work in here. I
Yeah.
just do interviews with families and children.
So Lucy, very quickly, is a historian who works out of Poland but travels to Ukraine to do research and report and help with stuff. Help with like, I guess
Yeah.
what do you help with? It's like with just general like logistical stuff, right? Like just helping.
Well, I mostly do interviews with families and children. Like the children in war is my main topic. Children that live in Ukraine proper that suffer from bombing. I think.
Sorry, it'd be quarterly, Lucy. I'm sorry, my brain is so tired right now. I was thinking like from the. Oh no, you go to higher increments for moving on. Sorry, as you were saying, I
Oh, sorry,
apologize.
sorry.
You were saying like every 3 months should be quarterly because a year is 12 months. I'm just like,
Oh,
yeah,
uh, and it's like children that are bombed, suffer from drone attacks. They live in Ukraine, and their situation, the education gap, that's been a big thing that I've been focusing on. For example, there are children in Ukraine that have never experienced education in a real classroom, you know? Never
yeah,
ever in their life because it started with COVID and then almost immediately the war started. So they basically had no experience. And a lot of schools have been bombed, destroyed. It's a whole thing. And then there are kidnapped children who are being Russified to be future Russian soldiers to fight against Russia's enemies in the future. And that has been happening since 2014. And then you have children in occupied territories that are being also rescued from there. So that's a whole conglomerate of topics that I'm dealing with when coming here. And now I'm planning to interview children that have directly been harmed by Russian munitions, bombs, drones, and um, you know, that sort of thing. There's been a 11-year-old boy that has been talking to the European Union who survived the bombing. So that's gonna be the project that I'm gonna be doing now, as I am in
okay,
Ukraine.
cool.
Yes, and I've also listened into your talk before with the person that had a horrible microphone. That's interesting in the trans debate, and I'm gonna be honest, I am tired of the trans debate. I think it should not be a
Oh
debate.
God,
You know. I don't think it
yeah.
should be
Well,
up for debate.
unfortunately, right now, the situation is it's the not being a debate thing is transphobes call the shots.
Yeah,
So
I just see
it
transphobia
it
every
is it
single
is it
day.
is it is tedious though. It is tedious.
Yeah, when the boss of the biggest, more used social platform is openly um, endorsing transphobia, Mr. Elon Musk, right? He's being putting out transphobic messaging every single day from what I've been
No,
seeing.
he's been going after every group.
Oh yeah. He's been calling for
Yeah.
the dismantling of the European Union. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah.
Yes. So it's been an intense time. And also, of course, does your video tackle the whole biological argument? Your video
Uh,
about transphobia?
referring to which? The idea that gender is downstream from biology in some sort of intrinsic way?
The idea that people are fixed to the idea of a very rigid binary structure of sex, which is based on the
No,
fact
I
that
don't
there
I don't
are.
I don't I don't I don't cover that stuff. I'm going to be talking about that a little bit when I'm doing the Bogardus book review, because that's when you get into the Fausto Sterling stuff.
Oh,
But not in
this
this one. This one is strictly about Butler. Butler's gender trouble doesn't really get into that so much.
okay. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of this argumentation about
Like
how, yeah,
I would say that like gender trouble gets you to a point where the notion of that being fixed doesn't make sense,
yeah, I
because it
feel,
breaks down the framework wherein you would have those rigid categories as like sort of permanent fixtures of any discourse. But
I feel like it at least does not make sense from the perspective of how a lot of those people approach it, which is there's a certain way biology is set to be, a perfect way, a pathway, if you will. That is the language that they use. Two pathways to male and female, and they are perfect, and anything else is just an imperfection happening. And my usual response is that, first of all, perfection and imperfections are not really a thing in biology, right? There's no notion of, oh, we're moving towards the perfect and this thing is imperfect. It assigns a lot of,
well, I'm working on a video that's responding to a few people who are talking like I forget what her name is actually. I'll have to remember her name when I do the video response to that. But there are people who will talk about, we've looked at brain scans of children in like this year.
yeah,
And we correlated this to the fact that children are not reading whole books in school, and the weird implication that nobody ever talks about that is like, oh, so are they not reading, or do you have like some weird notion of like a whole book yields substantively different information than excerpts do when they are targeted in a particular kind of way? And it's like, obviously every single like type of writing will have different information. Completing a writing will have different information, and so on and so forth.
yeah,
But the idea that there's like an intrinsic loss when you read more in excerpts in terms of like whole books and so on and so forth, which by the way, like my preference is for whole books, but when you're talking
yeah,
about like courses that are targeted towards like particular topics and are attempting to like generate competency,
right,
I don't see a clear argument there. But like they will talk about brain scans and they'll show like, oh, these parts of kids' brains are activated less. And it's like, okay, what do you think that means? And there's a whole lot of stuff that people like don't understand when they refer to fMRIs as indications of like we have an ability to actually track what brains are doing. And it's like, yeah, at the level of blood flow
all
we can
right,
magnetically detect the flow of blood, which is very useful. It allows us to map the flow of blood in the brain. It allows us to make certain inferences given certain theories of how that corresponds to certain cognitive processes where certain things are, where certain regions of the brain are implicated. But you cannot use fMRI to get to a conclusion about um, this type of thought is not working as hard or working as properly or as ideally based upon this fMRI. In addition to all of this, and it baffles me that nobody ever brings this up. Like
yeah,
if you're gonna talk on YouTube about like fMRIs and any sort of like, it's like, okay, you've seen a picture of a map of a brain. Whose
yeah,
brain is that? And the answer is it's nobody's. It is nobody's brain. Why? Well, because as you were saying, there is no perfection in biology, both teleologically and in terms of there is no like ideal model that people necessarily like follow. So
yeah,
that brain picture is a composite of many brains. How many brains you can't actually tell from the image. What theories are going into what brain activity is, what regions are responsible for what, not
yeah.
determinable by
And
the
a lot of
image.
it is like just playing interpretation, right? You sort of read
Oh,
into it
well,
what you
try
want
this
to.
on. Try this on for size. There is a time delay sometimes a significant time delay between an action being performed and the region lighting up.
Yeah,
And it's like
exactly.
this. Here's the thing: like this is not like downplaying the importance of fMRI. Super important, but like the problem is, it's like any sort of like observation. It is observation via a medium. There is no such thing as direct seeing. But people have this notion because they see a picture of a brain lighting up on a computer generated image that therefore we can see what's happening in the mind, but we can't even actually see, to be clear, what's happening in the brain. We have analogs that we track and they give us indications,
Yeah,
and they are like we combine these studies on many different patients
yeah. This
in order
kind
to
of
generate. Yeah.
This kind of touches upon the problem that with the pathways thing that I was talking about earlier. This kind of
Yeah.
argumentation that I've been seeing when people observe a thing that happens
Yeah.
and then build a whole interpretation upon it, like as if this is supposed to be happening this way, as if ascribing intentionality into biology that just doesn't exist, or a sense of purpose that it is supposed to be happening, going in this direction, right? Like it's
Yeah.
almost as if people become atheists, because a lot of people that talk like that are atheists, but they just replace the notion of a God that created everything with a purpose, and they sort of replace it with nature that creates things with a purpose, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I apologize. I've got a couple other people waiting. Was there like a specific point that you wanted to bring up before I move on, or
Oh no,
was
I
it just more of a
just
general thing?
I was just
Okay.
more of a general thing. I came here to
We haven't talked in a little while, by the
check
way.
up.
By the way, chat, subscribe to Lucy Haze, Haze on YouTube for Ukrainian news and history streams and gaming streams. She's very
Yes.
good.
Yes. Oh, and I'll be doing a big rehaul. I'm actually. Oh, there is one last thing that I can say before
Okay.
taking my leave. I'm kind of preparing to start uploading the stuff that I'm doing in Ukraine. I already have a draft of my first interview that I have with a 16-year-old from Bakhmut. You know Bakhmut, right? The city that's been the longest and the bloodiest battle of this war. So,
Okay. Yeah. So subscribe to
Yes.
Lucy's channel to see that when that comes up,
yes, there's going to be on a new channel.
and
It's
join
gonna be
the
like
and join the Discord server because we'll have to set up your. Well, I guess you can still just post with that channel with your account in the Discord server. So join the Discord server if you want to see updates for that channel as well, because Lucy posts channel updates there as well.
yeah.
Hey, we haven't talked in a little while. You have stay safe out there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.